Imagine you check your bank account today. It says exactly $1,000. Most people see a small number, but future millionaires see something completely different. Because almost every millionaire started with an amount that looked insignificant. The question isn't, is $1,000 enough? The real question is, will you waste the opportunity? Money alone doesn't change lives. Decisions do. Today, I'll show you 7 powerful rules that can turn $1,000 into the foundation of your first million. Let's begin with your first real test. Imagine you're walking through an electronics store. You didn't plan to buy anything. You're just looking around. Then you see it, the phone you've wanted for months. Suddenly, your mind starts making excuses. I deserve this. I'll save again next month. It's only one purchase. Without realizing it, your hand slowly moves toward your wallet. Then something changes. You imagine yourself 10 years from now. You're successful, disciplined, financially free, and living a life without constant stress about money. At that moment, you realize this isn't just about buying a phone. It's your first real financial decision. Almost every millionaire faces moments exactly like this. The decision usually looks small, but the consequences can last for years. One purchase rarely changes your life. Hypyatid abitstu. Every small financial decision is like placing a brick. Brick by brick, you're either building your future or quietly tearing it down. The difference isn't visible today, and that's why most people ignore it. But 10 years later, the results become impossible to miss. That's why wealthy people think differently. They don't ask, what can I buy with this money? They ask, what can this money become? That single question changes everything. Because money can work for you, even while you're sleeping. The real goal isn't to own more things. The real goal is to create more freedom. Freedom to choose your future. Freedom to say no to bad opportunities. Freedom to live life on your own terms. That's why your first $1,000 matters far more than you think. So here's rule number 1. Stop thinking like a customer. Start thinking like an owner. Now, let's move to the second decision. And this is where most people fall behind without even realizing it. The second rule is simple. Invest before you feel ready. The truth is, you'll probably never feel completely ready. Every beginner feels uncertain, and every successful investor started with doubt. Waiting always feels safe. You tell yourself you'll start next month, after your next paycheck, or when you know a little more. But waiting has a hidden cost that most people never calculate. Your greatest investment isn't money. It's time. Money can be earned again. Time cannot. Imagine you decide to invest today. Not all of your money, just a small portion. Just enough to take the first step. That single decision may not change your life overnight, but it changes something even more important. It changes your identity. Small actions create momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates consistency. And consistency is what changes lives. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You don't wait until you feel confident before getting on a bike. You become confident because you keep riding. Investing works exactly the same way. The people who build wealth aren't the ones who know everything. They're the ones who start before they know everything and continue learning along the way. Don't wait for the perfect market. Don't wait for the perfect economy. And don't wait until you feel fearless. The perfect moment almost never arrives. If you start small today, you'll gain experience. That experience will give you confidence. And confidence will help you make better decisions tomorrow. Remember, your first investment isn't about making a fortune. It's about becoming the kind of person who invests consistently. So here's rule number 2. Start before you feel ready. Now let's talk about the third decision. And this one may produce the highest return of all. The best investment you'll ever make is often invisible. You can't hold it in your hand, park in your garage, or show it off to your friends. Because no one can steal it from you. No market crash can erase it. And no economic crisis can take it away. I'm talking about investing in yourself. Every new skill increases your value. Every hour you spend learning becomes an investment that can pay you for years. Imagine learning just one valuable skill that people are willing to pay for. It could be design, programming, artificial intelligence, marketing, writing, video editing, or any skill that solves real problems. The specific skill isn't the most important part. What matters is choosing one and committing to it. Knowledge compounds just like money. The more you learn, the more opportunities begin to appear. Those opportunities create income, and that income creates freedom. Many people dream of earning more, but very few invest enough time to become more valuable. The marketplace doesn't reward wishes. It rewards skills. Every successful person you admire was once a beginner. They didn't wake up with extraordinary abilities. They simply decided to keep learning while everyone else was waiting. If you invest $1,000 in yourself by buying books, taking quality courses, building projects, and practicing every day, that investment could become worth far more than putting the same money into almost anything else. Your skills can generate income again and again. And unlike a physical product, they become more valuable the more you use them. Before you ask, where should I invest my money? Ask yourself, how can I become more valuable? Because when you become more valuable, earning more money becomes a natural result. So here's rule number 3. Invest in yourself before you invest heavily anywhere else. Now, let's move to the 4th decision, and this is the mistake that traps millions of people, even those with a good income. As your income grows, your lifestyle will try to grow with it. You get a raise, and suddenly you start thinking about a newer phone, a bigger apartment, a better car, or more expensive vacations. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your success. The problem is enjoying it too early. Most people increase their spending the moment they earn more money. Wealthy people do the opposite. They increase their investments first and let their lifestyle grow much more slowly. Imagine 2 friends who both receive the same salary increase. The first person immediately upgrades everything. A more expensive apartment, a new car payment, luxury gadgets, and a lifestyle that consumes every extra dollar. The second person keeps living almost exactly the same way. Instead of upgrading their lifestyle, they invest the extra income into assets that continue growing year after year. At first, there doesn't seem to be much difference between them. In fact, the first person may even appear more successful. But 5 or 10 years later, the story completely changes. One person owns expensive things that lose value over time. The other owns assets that continue producing income, even while they're asleep. This is why real wealth often grows quietly. It doesn't need attention. It doesn't need approval. And it certainly doesn't need to impress other people. One of the biggest financial mistakes you can make is trying to look rich before you actually become rich. Don't buy things to impress people who aren't paying your bills. Instead, buy assets that quietly build your future. Remember, every dollar you save and invest today becomes another employee working for you tomorrow. The goal isn't to look wealthy. The goal is to become wealthy. So here's rule number 4. Delay lifestyle inflation. Let your investments grow faster than your expenses. Now let's move to the 5th decision. And this is one of the biggest differences between people who stay broke and people who become wealthy. Never depend on a single source of income. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that your only paycheck has disappeared. What happens next? For most people, one unexpected event is enough to create financial stress. That's because they've built their entire life on a single income stream. Wealthy people think differently. They don't ask, how can I earn more from one job? They ask, how can I create multiple sources of income? One stream may come from a business, another from investments, another from freelancing, digital products, royalties, dividends, or online assets. Each income stream becomes another pillar supporting your financial future. At first, these streams may seem small. One brings in $50 a month. Another brings $100. Another brings $200. Individually, they don't look impressive, but together they create stability. If one stream slows down, the others continue flowing. That's how real financial security is built. Don't rely on one employer to control your future. Build assets that continue generating income, even when you're not actively working. The goal isn't simply to work harder. The goal is to make your money and your skills work alongside you. Rule number 5, build multiple streams of income. Never depend on just one paycheck. Now let's talk about the 6th decision, and this may be the hardest rule for most people to follow. Be patient. We live in a world where everyone wants instant results. People want to become rich in a few months, double their money overnight, or find the next shortcut to success. But real wealth doesn't work that way. Think about planting a tree. On the first day, nothing changes. After the first week, it still looks almost the same. Even after several months, the progress feels slow. Many people give up because they mistake slow growth for no growth. But beneath the surface, the roots are growing stronger every single day. Money works in exactly the same way. When you invest consistently, the biggest rewards usually come years later, not weeks later. This is the power of compound growth. At first, the progress feels almost invisible. Then suddenly, everything begins to accelerate. The people who become wealthy aren't always the smartest. They're the ones who stay consistent long enough to let time do its work. Don't chase quick wins. Build habits that can last for decades. Because getting rich isn't about making one perfect decision. It's about making good decisions over and over again. Rule number 6. Be patient. Let time become your greatest financial partner. Now we've reached the final decision, and in many ways, it's the most important one of all. Stay consistent. Success isn't built in a single day, a single investment, or a single lucky opportunity. It's built through hundreds of small decisions that most people never notice. The truth is, motivation doesn't last forever. There will be days when you don't feel like saving. There will be months when your investments don't grow. There will be moments when you question whether all of this is worth it. That's completely normal. Every successful investor, entrepreneur, and millionaire has experienced those same doubts. The difference is that they didn't quit. They kept moving forward, even when the progress felt invisible. Imagine climbing a mountain. When you're halfway up, the top is still hidden by clouds. You may feel like you're not getting anywhere, but every step is bringing you closer. Building wealth works the same way. Some days you'll take big steps. Some days you'll only take one small step. What matters is that you never stop climbing. Consistency beats talent. Consistency beats luck. Consistency beats perfection. Because small actions repeated over many years create extraordinary results. Don't focus on becoming rich overnight. Focus on becoming better every single day. Improve your habits. Improve your skills. Improve your decisions. If you do that consistently, your financial future will slowly begin to change. $1,000 alone will never make you a millionaire. But the habits you build while managing that first $1,000 absolutely can. Every millionaire started somewhere. Every investment started with a single decision. Every fortune was built one step at a time. The question is no longer whether $1,000 is enough. The question is whether you're ready to become the kind of person who can turn $1,000 into something far greater. Because wealth isn't created by money. It's created by discipline. It's created by patience. It's created by knowledge. And above all, it's created by consistent action. So here's the final rule. Stay consistent. Small actions, repeated over time, create extraordinary wealth. And remember this, your first million doesn't begin when your bank account reaches 7 figures. It begins the moment you decide to think differently. It begins the moment you choose to invest instead of consume. It begins the moment you stop making excuses and start building your future. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. Your future self is waiting for the decisions you make right now. So don't waste your first $1,000. Use it to build the life you've always imagined. Because one decision can change everything. Thank you for watching. If you found value in this video, consider subscribing for more practical ideas on building wealth and creating financial freedom. Until next time, keep learning, keep investing, and keep building your future.